Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn with me, Papa Omega, and Iran. So I'm gonna start this episode as usual with addressing two comments that I got today. The first one was from Jan the Man, and he actually came to me with a proposal that we take over a sort of a protective hand over Kurds. His actual words were if we could spare them, but I'm not aware if we have any possibility how to deal with them in Iran. But what's interesting is that there is Kurdistan over here. Now, Kurds are a nation with a very tragic history. They're one of the fairly larger nations in the world, but for the size of their nation, it's quite sad that they never really had their own state. This has been an international blunder for quite some time, but when you look at it realistically, creating a new Kurdish state means that some nations have to actually give up their space. And nor Turkey, nor Iran, nor Iraq, nor Syria, nor anyone was ever willing to do this. The Kurdistan that you see here, and I think that we already mentioned, is actually not an independent state. See, when Iraq got involved in the Gulf War and was defeated summarily, am I saying that correct? Well, was defeated, pretty quickly. I think it took like 80 days to destroy their entire army. The northern part of Iraq declared independence, sort of, under the Kurdish leadership, and it was never really completely reintegrated. Now, whether or not it was independent, that's up to your own guess. They had their own government, their own economy, but especially after the invasion of Iraq, the entire area turned into a war zone. Same with Syria. Turkey also hates their Kurdish minority, at least politically speaking, and unfortunately in Iran as well. When you Google Iranian Kurdish relations, you will find out that there has never really been an era when the Persian or Iranian people and the Kurds would live in peace for longer than just a couple of years. Realistically speaking, since 2003 and 2023, where we live, there was roughly only 3 or 4 years where there were no deaths or no attacks in Iran, and the amount of casualties in these 20 years is amounting to roughly 1,000 people on both sides together, with actually majority of the dead being Iranians, but the sources vary on this and it's not easy to figure it out. However, the fact that Kurdistan is a semi-independent nation in the way the game models it is a really important thing for us, because it weakens our biggest rival right now, which is Iraq. And that means that if we have any possibility to actually strengthen Kurdistan, it would mean that we weaken Iraq. So I have decided that we're gonna keep a protective hand on it. Unfortunately, Iran and Kurdistan have different outlooks. While we are the emerging, they are pro-Western, which is fine, but it makes improving our relations extremely difficult. We also cannot suggest them a non-aggressive pact at this point, because they are strategically hostile towards us, so they wouldn't accept it. And we cannot invite them into faction because they would need to be Shia, and we cannot even, guarantee their independence because we would need the world engines to be at least 30%. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this changes if we go with... Wait, where is it? Mandatory service, there's something mixed economy. Here it is. Limited interventionism. Guaranteed engine limit is 30. So if we went just with... No, we would have to go with... with neo-imperialism to do it now, but if we, for example, switch to regional interventionism, we would need only 20, which I think might be possible to achieve fairly easily. And with the global interventionism, we will get 10. Now, this is something that we will do fairly early because, Iran needs to protect the Shia and needs to have an active role in the world. So that's what we're going to do. And Kurdistan can be a stepping stone towards it. Now, our, of course, natural ally is Syria, and there are a couple of other nations that I mentioned that have a Shia minority, but Kurdistan weakens Iraq, and that is good for us. So unless the game actually throws a wrench at us by giving us some events about the Kurd uprising in Iran, which could happen around 2003, 2006, 2007, 2009, 2013, or 2016, which were the major hot years as far as I learned, then we will try to cooperate with them. Okay, so that was the first thing. And the second thing was Wolfau actually suggested that we have a special division created for intervening in other wars. Now that's a great plan with only one caveat. That's that our army is in disrepair right now. But we're going to start fixing that right now. This is a good bridge to what I wanted to speak about, and that is that with the fact that our economy is doing slightly better and we're going to use the political power to increase the taxes and eliminate the deficit that we have now, we can actually start thinking a bit about investing more into military. Now, there is a lot of single military factory focuses that we can use to start the build up. First stage is going to be to get 3 extra factories, one for our battle tanks. We need additional factory for the Zulfigars, one for the APCs, and one for the IFVs. That's going to be the first step. In the next step, we're going to try to get more factories to strengthen the production of infantry weapons, and then maybe we can start looking at our units. Most notably for this, as we discussed before, we would use the Pasdaran. I don't know why it's always hard to remember how the word sounds exactly. I know that it's Pas something, but Persian is so far from my own language that it's insane. But yeah, Pasdaran we would use for this, and maybe even use General Mohammed al-Jafari. Now, the reason why I put him in the secondary role is that he was a very high-ranking member of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, but the leader of the Revolutionary Guards was supposed to be Qasem Soleimani, and the game doesn't allow us to have a bit of a more structured command of these two armies, or 2 divisions. So not divisions, sorry, 2 army group. Let me try that again. It doesn't allow us to have as big or complicated structure of the army group or the army itself, or armies themselves. Okay, that was a blunder. Forget that happened. Anyway, I think with that said, we can actually start the game and start working on what we want. We want the army one, and then, as I mentioned, we are going to try to get the axis of resistance, I think it's called. Yes, axis of resistance. That's going to give us additional 120 political power. And it's going to cost us a bit, but we'll use those money to increase the taxes. And then we're going to probably do the IBRC, which grants extra stability. And then we might work our way through some of those naval dockyards here. And the revitalization of the military might also be pretty good, though. These ones are good, but not what we're looking for. So getting the Army Ground Force and the Army Navy Force, and then maybe one more Bandar Baheshti. Oh, and this one. Ah, that's nice. I forgot about this. Yeah. Zulfikar tanks production gives you a bonus to the production of the main battle tanks, and it's even increased later on. Now, to give political power, a technology, and will further lower the cost. Okay, so we can reduce the production of main battle tanks by 20%. So going through this might be even better than actually getting the factories. Okay, well, let's go through it and we'll see what our needs are. This is the provisional plan for now. We'll see how it's gonna go. I can borrow a bit more money so that we don't have to fall into deep debt later on. How's the production now looking? It should still be something, yeah, like 6,000 days. But the APCs... Oh, we're not producing them yet. Ah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we need the factory, but... How much do you cost, Isfahan? Production cost is 10, and the Zulfiqar cost 14. Damn, I thought it would be much cheaper. Defense... Wow, you guys have actually the same defense. Breakthrough 13, 7 hardness 8 is soft attack 12. You're much older though. Yeah, we need to get a better APC hull as we're gonna go through, because the biggest drawback on that is the actual hull. Once we get the 4th research slot, we're gonna start. We'll keep 3 on economy for now, and 1 is gonna go to the army. Okay, so we now have 60 political power, meaning we can increase the tax 1 more step. Okay, we don't have 60. For some reason it showed 60, but it wasn't 60. Okay, only 1 billion is the deficit for now. Stability took a little bit of a hit, but that's fine. Now, Iranian president. Construction speed. Oh, what about construction? Oh, we finished the office center, or the office sector. Good. And that brings me back to the point that we wanted the infrastructure, and we wanted it as fast as possible. Jesus Christ, you would give me free infrastructure and an office sector, but you cost nearly 35 billion. Resource to market, you give political power. We might have to do this one and work our way through the civilian sector here to get more factories and infrastructure, because that is something that would help us snowball pretty quickly. Okay, what do we have in the reserve? We have a ton of artillery pieces. BL-54. The Ivorian Popular Front declared war on the new forces of Côte d'Ivoire. Ivorian Civil War. Okay. So these are all the same. Okay. I don't know how many units. Actually, let's check that. We have 6 tank divisions. They're called armor divisions. Okay, so 6 armor divisions as done by, which is a massive. That is a full division right there. With a recon company, 5 tank battalions, 4 self-propelled artillery, 2 self-propelled air defense, 2 armored infantry, 2 mechanized infantry, and 3 motorized. Combat with is 66. Jesus Christ, but that is a full-fledged massive division. Okay, what else do we have? Then we got mechanized brigades. Those are, I wanted to say small, but 25 is not that small. Okay, okay, those are still... Okay, no, those are... You know what we need to do? We need to do one thing here. We have way too many things looking like other things. Do we have extra symbols that we could use here? No. That is a problem. We don't even have... Dang it. It doesn't even allow us to use these symbols. Okay, so that is a problem. So then the ideal thing would be, for example, to turn all the armored brigades into armored divisions. Wait. One more thing. Do we have any that we are not using? Mechanized division we're not using. The other one, Ironico, is a good one, and the rest are using armored divisions. Oh. Yeah, this is really complicated. What we'll need to do here, unfortunately, is start turning certain divisions off and upsiding and uniting them. Okay, so here we have the army finished. Political power plus 50, command power plus 20, and we get an extra military factory. I lost a bunch of money. Okay, but the vehicle balance is dropping, and we can increase the tax once more, which means, yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Population is nowhere near revolting. Okay, now we wanted the axis of resistance, which I actually wanted to get as soon as possible, but this is still a bit sooner than I expected. The axis of resistance refers to an anti-Western Israeli-Saudi political and informal military alliance between Iran, Palestine, the Syrian Assad government, and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. Despite the different ideologies, such as secular Baha'ism, Sunni fundamentalism, and Shia Islamism, they are unified by the goal of opposing NATO, Israeli, and Saudi Arabian activities in the region. So it takes 50 days. Political power plus 120, base war support plus 5, and it changes the popularity of emerging by 5%. And we get access of resistant decisions. Cost a bit of money though, but it's fine. And then I might actually start looking at this. Move bases in Tehran. It's this one. I really like this one a bit more, but I don't know. This one gives more infrastructure. That's the irony, and gives base stability. All infrastructure is good, and having more infrastructure is even better, especially if it's for the same price, which is kind of interesting to see. And we bump up to just 2 factories. Didn't we have? I guess we didn't. Oh, that was probably for the trade, yeah. We lost the factory to trade, or due to trade. So, hello, Isfahan 1 is being produced, 3.3 per month. Nice, that means it's not gonna take 6,000 days, but only 1,600 days. But hey, we are increasing our military capacity now at 7 factories. Ideally, I would like to have a ratio. Well, it's kind of hard to speak about the ratio here when we never know what's gonna happen. Interest is now 2.8%. Still, realistically speaking, understandable. Okay, so we further increase the tax. Expecting where creation tax is lowering stability by 26%. GDP per capita. Could it be that it's really just lowering stability? No, it's kind of hard to see. Axis of resistance. Yeah, it's gonna be another hit to the treasury. But hey, we're down to 0.56 billion per week in deficit. That's much better. And that's with all of the funding that we got for the police. So that is good. Good stability. Showcase our efforts. Thinking we might try to get the new phase of economic plan, because that increases construction, and with this we'll have 120 to get us to 28. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it. So we're gonna boost our construction speed a bit. We're still getting a bit of political power, but the construction should be faster now, significantly faster actually, for speaking the truth. When are you gonna be done? 11th of January. Well, gonna get an extra 50 here, and then we can start working with the infrastructure. Yeah, I guess there's no point in hiding it. I'm gonna go with this one. Actually, you give Tehran and you give Tehran. So we might start with these two to get as best infrastructure as we can in Tehran. That's extra metal. There wasn't a better choice, was there? We got aluminum. Maybe aluminum might have been good. But who knows? The precious metals are okay. I like that. Wait, what? No. We don't want to cancel that. Emerging. Which is the principalists, right? Right, you're reformists. Interesting, the Shahdam support is increased, and we got reactionaries growing in popularity here. Sunka. Fascism, okay, moderate Islamists, broad spectrum, Iranian conservatives and liberals. This is the pro-Western outlook. Kinda interesting to see that it has absolutely no support. Okay, so we got 120 from that, and I guess it would make sense to bite the bullet. Let's check what follows after the axis of resistance. Strategic advice. We get extra experience. Fund Shia militias. Hezbollah gets tax cost and factory output and dockyard output increase. Did they even have a factory? That's the question. I have a feeling they might not. Though nobody really is saying that we cannot build them some. Could I build you a factory? Nope, we can't. Okay, well then this makes really to no sense. Okay, these ones help Hezbollah. Oh wow, these all help Hezbollah. Okay. And united against Zionism. Oh, this one just takes 20 days. 3% stability is fine, and to infrastructure. That's better than short-lived political power, which we might not even need. Yep, we're down to 0.01 billion in deficit now. So with just another factory, we will be fine. So now what we need? Oh, okay, 0.024. But what we need to do now is get a bit more in the face of this new situation, and we'll be good. I think that one factor is going to actually tip us over. So Axis of Resistance. Axis of Resistance is a Shia anti-Western, anti-Israel political and informal military alliance between us and Hezbollah. So we can ask Hezbollah to attack Israel. We can invade Syria. And we can give arms to Hezbollah. We can give them financial aid. And we can give them industrial aid. Okay. So this is something that we might want to do. Invite Iraq. So they need to have at least 10 and we need to have at least 10. We can actually get them into the Axis. Nationalist outlook. Long time no see. How come that it says that... Oh, our current ruling party is emerging. Okay. And increase your influence in Iraqi government. Okay. Oh, this is amazing. So we can actually topple the Sunni government there and reinstate or install a Shia government. But we would need 30% influence. Jesus Christ, that would be super hard. Spread influence. They can be auto-influenced. Okay, evaluate political power again. Then we can manipulate politics. Give them economic aid. %5 of their debt. Then they're actually not in debt, as far as I can see. Target other influence, military aid. Okay, we'll have to look into this because I want to topple their government. That is amazing. And we don't really have much of a time though here. Very soon things are gonna start happening. So let's finish this focus and call it an episode. Okay, this is gonna increase infrastructure in Sistan and Balochistan. Persia. Oh, okay. Oh, I read that wrong. That is one. Ah, okay. I thought that it was two different. Okay, well, we're doing it for stability. That's still fine. So this area is gonna get infrastructure. And then we can jump through the focuses over... where was it? Over here. And get 2 more in Tehran. Uzbekistan, jihadist attack. And Komashkazi and Greater Khorasan. And this one just gives it in Tehran. Okay, but these ones are great. They're gonna make everything much better for us. Much, much better. Okay, 53. The off factory is pretty good. It's gonna make everything simple for us. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Sistan and Balochistan is a hub for Sunni resistance groups due to its distance and remoteness, as apparently we are infringing on their religious rights and persecuting minority religious groups. While they are completely correct, we don't want to hear their complaining, so we should construct more outposts both for the police and the military, so they can catch these people. That's just brutal. Sphere of influence. Oh my god, that gives 150 political power. Gains developing our influence sphere for 1800 days. Support shared parties. Okay, so this is what we need to go through if we want to get them. Syria, Yemen, Lebanon. I think that these are all the... Okay, so this is a nice one. But it's really not nice at this point. We need to be prepared for that one. And then go through it probably one by one. Or one after each other, because they won't give us much time. There's like 1800 days when you get the influence multiplier. So instead, move away from raw exports. As per the third development plan, we must move away from raw oil exports to diversify our economy, especially because we're not exporting any, and decrease our economic dependence on foreign markets, because we cannot access them, lest the global economic crisis cause our country to become bankrupt. So this is gonna greatly increase the tax cost, but less resources to market and trade deal opinion factor plus 30%. And a bit of political power. Unfortunately, that has to be done. So, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode.